Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to the video. Crazy news. Kykai's gone, Rascal's gone, Dallas Fuel are making big moves, and it's absolutely nuts. Everybody is going crazy. Overwatch League players, Reddit, just everybody, the whole community is on edge right now. We're going to discuss both these topics, what some pro players have said, what my opinion is on everything. Dallas Fuel finally fired Kyky. Was it the right time? Do I agree with it? And should they have fired Rascal? Was it the right move to let him go? Fisher had a really nice response to this. AKM said some things. It's crazy. We're going to cover it all, guys. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. Enter the giveaway. I'm giving away 10 Overwatch League jerseys. Yesterday, we couldn't get the 5,000 likes. So today, let's get the 5,000 likes and I'll do the top 10 Overwatch League players tomorrow. And now let's just hop into this video. Let's do it. Oh my God, guys. As this video was done, I was rendering it. I canceled the render. This just came out from Effect on Twitter. He said this: I'm not going to do stupid things like trusting someone and waiting helplessly. It's either I leave team or the team changes. One of the two. Until that result comes, I will not be using social media. I'm going to delete everything. Effect just threatened to leave the Dallas Fuel. I don't know exactly what this is about. Maybe it's the combination of both Kyky and Rascal being let go. Maybe just Rascal, maybe just Kyky. No idea, but this just juice, boys. This is insane. Effect literally just threatened to leave the Dallas Fuel. This management has to get their crap together, guys. Now, obviously, I didn't know this as I was recording this video, so I won't be mentioning it throughout the rest of this video, but still, the rest of it is very informative. This changed everything, though. We got to keep this in mind, and the management's out of control. Let's go ahead and play the rest of the video. So here's the statement from the Dallas Fuel. They said this: the Dallas Fuel announced today the release of head coach Kyky and the release of Korean DPS player Rascal. Kyky served as head coach for the Dallas Fuel in the inaugural season of the Overwatch League and previously coached the Team Envy roster in Overwatch Contenders and Apex. Dallas Fuel assistant coach Peak was named interim head coach, effective immediately. In addition, the Fuel have signed Vol Jin of Meta Gaming in Korea to the coaching staff. Vol Jin is expected to assume assistant coach duties when he joins the team in Los Angeles in the coming weeks, following approval of his visa. The Fuel expect to announce a new head coach within the next week as negotiations are ongoing with numerous candidates for the position. We will always appreciate Kyle's commitment to this organization. He is a true competitor who coached our team through a great run and a Contenders Championship. Unfortunately, we have not replicated that championship level of success in the Overwatch League this season. While we recognize many of challenges Kyky faced with the Dallas Fuel were beyond his control, there comes a time when change is necessary for the team to move forward, and we felt that time is now, said Mike Rufael, owner of the Dallas Fuel and Team Envy. Rascal, a Korean DPS player acquired in a transfer from the London Spitfire earlier this season, was also released today. Rascal had played with Dallas Fuel throughout Stage 2 and appeared in 2 matches for the Fuel in Stage 3. We had hoped that Rascal could add flexibility to our DPS lineup on the team this season. Unfortunately, his commitment to the team did not meet our expectations, and his unwillingness to communicate with the team while playing in recent matches became a large distraction. Wow. So to start off, let's talk about Kyky. I believe Kyky was not a good head coach for the Dallas Fuel. Do I think he is just an absolutely terrible coach and should never get a chance at coaching another team again? No, I don't think so. I think he could coach a Contenders team, maybe an assistant coach or a co-coach inside the Overwatch League. He definitely shouldn't be the head coach, but he does deserve another chance as a coach. They mentioned it in this post. He did have success with Team Envy prior to the Overwatch League. Maybe this wasn't the right team for him. Obviously, he wasn't doing a good job and he didn't deserve the position at the time, but he was not the only problem. The Dallas Fuel's management overall is the issue. Which, yes, Kyky was part of that management, but there are also bigger fishes involved. I've been saying this in all of my videos. Yeah, I've put a ton of blame on Kyky, and he deserves that blame. He sure does. Because at the end of the day, he is the head coach. But the entire management from the Dallas Fuel is absolutely out of control. This Mike Rufael, Hastro guy, whatever you want to call him, has made horrible decisions. And as time goes on, it seems like as more comes out, he is the problem. He made executive decisions on this team without discussing them with the players, other coaches, anything. He just made decisions on his own, said, we're picking up AKM, we're picking up Rascal, we're picking up OGE, no tryouts, nothing. It also seems like he was a backseat coach as well, not giving Kyky full control of the roster from the start. An owner of an Overwatch League team should not be that involved in the team. I don't care how much success you think you've had in esports, if you're not sitting there with the team every single day, head coaching them, you should not have full control like that. Of course, he should have his own opinion, he should have input, and he should be able to pick up players, but he needs to discuss that with everybody before doing those things. So a lot of problems lie with Hastro. And now moving on to Tasmo, the GM of the Dallas Fuel, who has been seen in a few of their YouTube series videos, giving these weird, awkward speeches, not really motivational at all, just kind of at bad times and not worded correctly. Seems like this guy might have too much power in the team as well. There's not too much evidence of this yet, but from watching XQC stream over the past night, XQC has definitely been indicating that this guy has a lot of power within the team, and he doesn't believe that GM should be that powerful. So overall, at the end of the day, Kyky, yes, it's good that they got rid of him and they did pick up a Korean coach. That's great. Their head coach hasn't been announced yet, but hopefully when they get him, they give him full control and let the coaching staff decide what goes on in the team, not the owner, who isn't present 24/7. Now moving on to this Rascal situation, which I am very on the fence of. Maybe Rascal was toxic. Maybe he wasn't the right fit for this team, and he was just bringing down the team atmosphere, whatever you want to call it, just overall didn't work out. Maybe that's true, and I want to look at this situation from an unbiased perspective and give everybody a fair shot, which is going to be hard for me. I'm going to probably end up by the end of this defending Rascal because, I don't know, just all these facts are going to add up into his favor, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So what they said in the statement is that they hoped Rascal would add flexibility to their DPS lineup, which he did. They also said, unfortunately though, his commitment to the team did not meet their expectations. So this would lead me to think that Rascal didn't really care about practice. He wasn't trying, he wasn't showing up, he was late, making excuses, not practicing, and all that stuff. That's definitely not the case. So that's kind of misworded in my opinion. The next thing they said was his unwillingness to communicate with the team while playing recent matches became a large distraction. Again, I'm on the fence about this statement. It can mean a ton of different things. Maybe in game he wasn't calling at all, is just a complete mute, but I don't think it's that because I feel like a lot of players on the team were like that. And then considering Rascal has a language barrier, I don't think they would be mad at him for not communicating too much in game. But then it says unwillingness, as if Rascal was on purpose not trying to work with the team, like he was trying to just sabotage everything. He was being a complete baby. And that's where I start to really think, probably not true. And the statement kind of becomes a load of baloney. Because even when Kyky threw Rascal under the bus a few weeks ago, saying that he was baby raging and all this stuff, he still said that Rascal was trying very hard and he was trying to impose that onto his teammates. So from this statement, it kind of seems like it says Rascal wasn't trying hard or, just wasn't trying at all in general, didn't care. I doubt that. So this is a little tough. Statement's a little weird. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the LA Gladiators Fisher said. I think he has a really good perspective on the situation because he too went through the same exact situation that Rascal did by being sold off to another team with no time to prepare. He said this: I think Rascal and I were both in the same boat regarding today's news. Let's go back to the past. There is no one better than me who can emphasize with him, so I'm confident I can organize this case in the best way. The day I was released from London was February 20th. Rascal was on the 21st. When I came to the Gladiators, there were a 3-day break. The first thing I felt coming here was the issue everyone had talked about: culture differences. I felt the majority of the players had low work ethic regarding this job. Of course, not anymore, but when I first came here thinking, I will get this team to a higher rank and improve my value. To my eyes, the teammates were not practicing despite their bad performance in Stage 1. It was an off-season break, of course, but when Rascal and I were in a similar situation like that, where you transferred from a top-performing team, you have no choice but to feel serious about it. I don't know about Dallas, but I personally talked with the GM of the LA Gladiators. I told him I really want to improve this team and get us higher in rankings, but they don't seem to have the mentality to try harder. If this goes on, I don't think I can keep up. And he listened, he gathered all of the players from the LA Gladiators in one spot and had a discussion. And he told the players that they needed to make the proper atmosphere for Fisher, and then we could do better next stage. Of course, English was really hard for me. I usually almost never get triggered in scrims, but I think I got frustrated for the first time during scrims in LA Gladiators due to English. I thought I was going crazy. How do I make specific orders in another language? I knew we could win with this shot call of mine, but I couldn't convey it. So in the beginning, I fought with the LA Gladiators players a lot, and naturally we apologized to each other for whatever we did. Since then, we are doing really well and have a great atmosphere. I think this is where we can see the difference between Dallas and Gladiators. There is no one who can connect the Korean and English players in-game. We have Bishu. I talked to him in Korean and he translates it for me. Rascal must have been in the same situation. I can imagine how frustrated he had been. If I didn't have Bishu, I would have probably been in the news today as well. Farewell to Fisher. I'm sure that Rascal had fights with his team regarding that because that's exactly what I went through. But I apologized to my teammates after and they did too. If you look at our recent matches, we hugged when winning and I love my team. I don't think Rascal was able to make that environment yet. The language barrier made it hard for Rascal and the team to understand each other, and he couldn't endure from that frustration. In the article, it says Rascal avoided communication. No, this is not the case. Rascal does want to communicate, but what can he do? He can't speak English. No one can translate for him in-game. I think Rascal got distressed because of that. I would have done the same. As for effect, he was with the envious member since Apex. Rascal was in Dallas only for a month. This period is incomparable. I had been upset because of this issue as well and got triggered during scrims. When you really want to say something and you can't because of the language, it is really frustrating. Then the coaches come to ask me, why aren't you being active more and talkative in scrims? I want to, but I can't. Do you know how they replied to that? Try harder. Even they can't solve this issue. Thankfully, I became better because Bishu managed to alleviate this problem for us in-game. It's thanks to him I am remaining here. Hey Damon, you feel that too, right? Having to learn Chinese to do comms? But what can you do? You only have to try harder. It's the same for every player who needs to learn another language to adapt. I'm saying this because I'm afraid Rascal's reputation might be damaged when moving to another team. Rascal doesn't have bad mentality or personality. The language barrier problem is that hard to solve. I've been in the same team as Rascal. He does not avoid communication. He always tries to talk. It's just really hard to solve in my opinion. Bishu's player value will become very high next season. I am confident maybe somewhere below Jonak and Carpe. Why? A lot of teams will want bilingual players. There will certainly be many teams who need that next season. I heard that Bishu already had a lot of offers due to his ability. On top of that, his personality is amazing. If he gets his mechanical skill to that level, his value will be on par with Jonak and Carpe. He lived overseas since he was young, so yeah, I wanted to say this because this is kind of news, can be misunderstood very easily. Really long statement about the situation, but it is very insightful, and I think it puts it into perspective that Rascal was just in a crappy situation, and I think the management of the Dallas Fuel completely failed him. They literally didn't even have a full-time translator on the team. How can you have 3 Korean players on your team and not have a full-time translator? We've seen from the LA Valiant videos, we've seen from the LA Gladiators, they have Korean translators. You need this if half your roster is Korean. It's unexcusable. So that alone just tilts me and pisses me off at the Dallas Fuel management. I think it's ridiculous how they conveyed their statement about Rascal. I honestly, look at this statement, see what they said about Kyky. It's all good stuff like, oh, unfortunately, there were things that were out of his hand, but we just, he had a great championship level run with us during contenders. We just really haven't had it in the league so far. We recognize he faced things out of his control, but, maybe it's time for a change. So we're going to make a change. Farewell to Kyle. Good luck. Which is fine. I have nothing wrong with this statement. It was really good. They were fair to Kyky. They were fair to themselves. There was no turmoil. They just said, we got to make a change. Thank you, Kyle, for everything. Good luck, man. We love you. But then you scroll down and you look at what they said about Rascal. We hoped that he would add flexibility to our DPS lineup, but unfortunately his commitment to our team did not meet expectations. His unwillingness to communicate during recent matches became a large... Are you serious? They just threw him under the bus. Kyky was clearly a way bigger problem to this team than Rascal was. Yet they made it seem like Rascal was this huge issue and they had to let him go. They could have easily kept him on this team and tried to help him improve his English and improve on why they think he was so unwilling to play and try hard and help the team improve. Like, what? I honestly don't know what to make of this anymore. I wanted to stay biased at the beginning, but as I go through these statements and I read more and more into it, reading what Fisher said, it makes me angry. They're kind of scapegoating Rascal. Yet he was the one who wasn't given the proper tools, not Kyky. This guy had no translator. He was randomly thrown into this team without trying out. Oh, by the way, this team was one of the worst in the league. The management was awful. The players were depressed. This is like just a horrible situation to throw Rascal in. You can't even compare it to the situation Fisher was thrown in. This team was broken down when Rascal joined. At one point, Kyky and AKM literally threw him under the bus. And the poor kid didn't even know it was going on when it happened. Like, why? Oh man, I feel bad for Rascal now. I'd be damn frustrated with my team if I was Rascal. They They screwed him. I agree with Fisher. I hope Rascal doesn't have this negative reputation about him after this, because this is just unfair. It really is. The situation he's been put in is complete crap. The Dallas Fuel, the way they worded that statement was complete blasphemy. And it makes it seem like he was just this massive issue with the team. He's unwilling to communicate and play with his teammate. Like, it's bad. It's not cool to do to a player. If you want to compare hands, look at what Kyky was dealt, and then look at Rascal was dealt. They were both dealt shitty hands, but whose was worse? Let's go ahead and take a look at this small clip from AKM stream, which was deleted. Thankfully, I saved it though. He's talking about Rascal being let go.
You could be the best player in the world if your attitude is not great for your teammates. You don't deserve to be in a team. That's how it is.
I don't know what to make of this statement. I don't want to go in on AKM here. I don't. I kind of want to leave him out of this, but... And I'll be honest, it kind of seems like AKM has a decent amount of power in this team. Without AKM on this roster, I don't think the Unco and Custa trade goes through. I doubt it does. And now it kind of seems like he's a little happy that Rascal's gone. He's throwing him under the bus just like he did before. Seems like he might be trying to paint himself as the good guy, making sure he lets everybody know, yeah, me and Rascal, we went through some stuff a few weeks ago, kind of threw each other under the bus, but see, Rascal was let go. He was the problem, not me. I'm the good guy. That's what this seems like to me. Oh, and let's also remember that AKM and Rascal are in direct competition for that starting slot on the team. They both play the same role, and prior to AKM joining Dallas Fuel, he turned down an offer from Dallas Fuel because he didn't want to be a sub player. Then he signed with them. So it seems, and with a lot of rumors going around saying that AKM was signed and promised that he would get that starting role, he probably had some built-in frustration towards Rascal when he was subbed out for him. And I think this came out when he threw him under the bus before, and I think this is coming out in this statement again. This is literally the same thing he did last time. He threw Rascal under the bus to save face for himself. It completely failed, and he looked like a complete jerk. Not sure exactly what he's trying to do here in this clip, but obviously I think he realized it failed because he ended up deleting it. I don't know what to make of this situation. Like I said, I want to try to say bias. I don't want to be 100% confident that Rascal wasn't toxic because I'm not there. I don't know what's going on exactly behind the scenes. It could have been really bad, but in general, most signs point to him not being toxic, and this just being a really bad situation for him because of the management. So I probably did a bad job being unbiased in this video, trying not to defend Rascal. But, like, it's fair, though. Look at all the evidence. The statement that the Dallas Fuel put out, what Fisher said. Just in general, it looks like Rascal was dealt the worst hand possible, and the Dallas Fuel are scapegoating him. And obviously, I said I don't want to go in on AKM. I did a little. I think he's probably just trying to defend himself and make sure that his reputation is still good. But he didn't do it in a great way in that clip. And just all in all, I think it's good that they got rid of Kyky and they picked up a Korean coach. Hopefully they pick up a good head coach as well. And the upper management, the GM, and the owner, Hastro Tasmu, they try to stay out of the team and let the team build itself. Because up to this point, I don't think they've really made any good decisions besides maybe letting Kyky go. Again, for Rascal, I don't know. It's a messed up situation. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for a lot of the players on Dallas Fuel. Taimu, XQC, Custa, Effect, Harry Hook, Chips, all of them. I feel like they're all going through a massive roller coaster ride, and a lot of it is just out of their control. And at this point, I'm starting to, not blame them for going crazy on Twitter and streams after their matches. It's not really their fault. They need a management that could have controlled all that stuff. Hopefully, Dallas Fuel's management can get better from this point on. It's a 50-50. I'm leaning towards them not being able to, but we'll see. We'll see. And that's it for this video, guys. If you're new around here, again, do not forget to subscribe, enter the giveaway, drop a like on this video. 5,000, I'll do the top 10 Overwatch League players. And I'm out of here, guys. Peace.